it, Les. Kim Levings, you want to
Yes,
unmute yourself,
I'm
Kim?
on fire.
Yes, Les. I don't know what you had this morning, but man, keep eating it.
Yes.
Go ahead, Kim.
Les, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear
It's,
you, Kim. Yes,
oh,
I
thank you.
can hear
It
you.
was
Yes.
telling me I couldn't get unmuted. Hi, Mr. Brown. It's absolutely a delight to meet you. So I'm so excited. Wow, thank you.
Yes, I'm excited to meet you too.
I'm originally from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Mhm.
And my passion is to shake people, as I say, to get them out of their box of mediocrity. My story was that I had a lousy life experience, tried to commit suicide a couple of times, and God placed a vision in my heart to be the best I could be at who He created me to be. That has turned into a lifetime purpose of helping people rethink themselves. My brand is rethinkyou.com. And right now, during COVID, my message has changed a little. I mean, I still do a message about getting out of your box and how important it is to find your purpose and your passion. But for me, COVID stands for committed to opportunities with vision, imagination, and determination. And I'm saying, what is COVID right now? What is this pandemic giving you? What is it doing for you to shake you out of your life of mediocrity? Because there are people who watch what happens, and there are other people that complain about what happens, and then there's those who make things happen. And I'd rather be the latter. And I am a student of the grand Les Brown for the last 10 years of my life, and I'm just ecstatic to get to meet you. So that's a
Thank
snippet
you.
of my story and my message.
I'm ecstatic to meet you. I want to take you someplace. Do I have your permission?
Yes, you do.
Kim, what was going on in your life when you decided you wanted to end it? And what was the turning point where you said, I want to live?
Well, my story that I tell, my 3-minute story, but I won't go the whole 3 minutes. I say my family and my household in Johannesburg, South Africa, were my rock and my foundation until they fell apart when I was 18, and my parents' divorce left me adrift. I had a very good job. I found my self-worth and my identity in my profession, but my personal life was a mess. Bad behavior, bad relationships, chasing things, trying to heal the emotional wounds. And the second time when I woke up in the hospital and I realized I was still alive, it was God that said to me, it wasn't your life to take. I have a purpose for you. And He placed that
How
on
did
my
you try?
heart.
How did you try to take your life? What did you do?
I took an overdose. They had me on antidepressants all the time.
So you
'Cause,
took an overdose. Okay.
yeah,
And you said you were in the hospital and you
yes,
realized, and that was the second time you'd attempted it?
yes.
And
That time my stepmother had found me. By then my father was married again. And I'd been out that night and things hadn't gone well, and I just thought my life's a mess. And I went home and just swallowed a bottle of tablets. And I obviously didn't succeed because I wasn't supposed to. I know that now.
yes,
But I recognize, one of my big whys is to help reduce suicide and help people realize they don't have to stay in a place of hopelessness.
yes.
And also deal with depression, because my mother was depressed and depression ran in our family, and I feel like I have reversed the curse.
Gotcha. May I work with it for a minute?
I'd love you to. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kim. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about what you like to do with your life. We're taught from my favorite book, forgetting those things which are behind, reaching forth unto those things which are before. We press toward the mark of a higher calling. When I look at my life, I had some challenges. I had some things that I'd gone through. And as a result of those things, I come to know that we might be through with our past, but our past is not through with us. And when my parents went through divorce, when I look at the self-destructive path that I took for a period in my life, I realized that I'm only here because of God's grace and mercy. I wanted to end my life. I was in so much pain. I really didn't want to die, but I wanted to stop the pain. And the second time when I came home, my stepmother found me. I took an overdose of pills. And while I was in the hospital, I heard a voice. I heard the voice of God that said, this life is not your life to take. I heard a voice, and I want to talk to you about something right now. Rethink you. I had to rethink my life. I had to rethink why are you doing this to you? You're not your past. You're not the things that you've gone through, that you've experienced. Your life has value. Rethink you, Kim. And during that time of self-reflection, I was a different person coming out of the hospital than the person that they took in there and had to pump my stomach or do whatever they needed to do to save my life. During that time, I heard this voice. And all of us have had moments in our lives where we heard a voice, where you're in traffic and the light changes and a voice says, don't move. And you obeyed. And sure enough, boom, someone ran the light. We've all had moments in our lives where we've said, oh my goodness, if I had just listened to my first mind. And as a result of God's grace and mercy, I am still here. And I had to rethink me. And I'm saying to people today, rethink your life. You're not your past. You're not the things that you've gone through. Rethink your life. See, we cannot control the self-destructive thoughts that come in our mind, but we can control the thoughts that we hold on to, the thoughts that will pull us into the future, the thoughts that will remind us that we are a masterpiece because we're a piece of the master. I'm reminded of a man who jumped off the San Francisco bridge, and he was among the few people that survived. And he said the moment that he let go, that he thought would be a fall to his death, he knew he had made a mistake. And they asked him, well, why did you want to commit suicide? He said, that day when I left home, I just wanted someone to look at me, someone that would recognize me, someone that would say something to me, and nobody allowed me to register in their eyes. And based upon where my life was, I didn't want to be here anymore. I was hurting. A lot of people are hurting right now. And I believe that the calling on my life is to remind people, rethink your life. God had a reason for your being here. Rethink your life. This is a defining moment. Define who you are going to be, not your past, not your mistakes, not all the things that you've done wrong. Decide that you're going to be a blessing to life, that you're going to be an asset, that you're going to be a blessing to others. That's what I decided to do, to rethink my life. And now, that person that my stepmother found unconscious is very much conscious. Become consciously aware of the fact that you are a gift to the world. Life is God's gift to us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. Decide that as you look at yourself, look at your goals, and look at your dreams. Ask for help when you're struggling to believe in yourself. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And decide not to be like those who, because of pride cometh before a fall. Because of ego means edging God out, that you won't ask for help. No. All of us have our moments in the Garden of Gethsemane. It's been a journey. It's been a challenge. And here's what I know. when you put yourself around kindred spirits, people who are next to you, have goals and dreams, who inspire you, and you hold each other accountable. When you invest the time and energy in yourself to rethink your life and decide that you're going to be an asset to life, that you are going to be a person that will be a light that will bring people out of the darkness. And when you master something that you love, that's the calling on your life, that's your passion, that you are here on a mission to leave the world in better shape than how you found it. All of us will be blessed because you showed up, because you're now living a life that will outlive you. My name is Kim. Rethink your life as I did, because we need you here. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. That's just incredible. As others people say, I'm going to have to go back and listen to the recording to make notes, but I just love what you did with that, Les. Thank you.
Was it helpful?
Very helpful. I loved what you did with my name, the kindred spirits, and invest the time and master something that you love. I think those are all just so true of what I've done with my life since then. So, wow. Yeah, thank you. Hugely inspirational. And it's always great to hear your own story given back to you. As Lilia said earlier, or I think it was somebody else who said that, just because it gives you a whole different perspective, and you've given me something to think about. Thank you.
You're welcome. And $ Les Brown 77. You owe me $50.
How
All
much?
right, I'll make a note of
30?
this.
I will share one last,
Thank you, Kim.
one last thing I just wanted to say though, Les, when you were talking about how God works in our lives,
40. Yes, we're up to 40. Go ahead.
where you were talking about how God shows up in our lives, and sometimes there's that time when God tells you not to pull into the traffic, to wait. That in fact happened to my daughter when she was living in Los Angeles. And we just spoke of that last week. So I'm blown away that you used that as an example. Thank you for that.
Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. You're up to 50. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
You
All
have
right, Les,
such
I'll make sure
presence and charisma. Wow.